Good day, this is Elizah Alejandre, your CPA internship, and I'm going to tackle Chapter 18 of Intermediate Accounting 2 entitled Defined Benefit Plan together with my partner Rhiane Dei A. Belostrino. First, let's have technical knowledge. To understand the relationship between fair value of plan assets and projected benefit obligation, to know the computation of employee benefit expense, to compute the measurements of plan assets, projected benefit obligation and effect of asset ceiling, to recognize plan settlement, to understand the treatment of asset ceiling. So what is defined benefit plan? A defined benefit plan is simply defined as a post-employment plan other than a defined contribution plan. So ito yung obligation ng isang entity to provide the agreed benefits sa employees. Since yung employees na yun ay nag-render ng services sa isang entity or company, after employment, meron sila matatanggap na or makukuhang benefit na tinatawag na retirement benefit. The benefit plan shall be viewed as a sub-entity separate and distinct from the primary entity, which is the employer entity. So, yung employer yung mag-manage nun, yung sila yung directly na magbibigay sa employees ng benefit. The sub-entity maintains information that does not appear in the financial statement of the primary entity. Such information is only kept by means of memorandum records and therefore not reflected in the general ledger accounts of the primary entity. The information contained in the memorandum records of the sub-entity contains the following. Yung una, yung fair value of plan assets or FVPA, and pangalawa, yung projected benefit obligation or PBO. Next is the fair value of the plan assets is a source of funds set aside in meeting future benefit payments. Ito mismo yung fund na gagamitin ng entity para bayarang utang nila sa employees. The projected benefit obligation, or also known as defined benefit obligation, is the present value of expected future payments required to settle the obligation arising from employee service in the current and prior periods. Ito naman yung kung magkano ang utang or estimated utang pa ng entity sa employees. These two items are kept only in the memorandum records of the sub-entity. The prepaid or accrued benefit cost is the item that appears on the financial statement of the employer entity. So meaning, pag mas malaki yung FBPA kaysa sa PBO, the plan is overfunded. So, prepaid benefit cost siya, which is under non-current asset. Kapag mas maliit naman yung FBPA kaysa PBO, the plan is underfunded. Therefore, there is an accrued benefit cost na under naman ng non-current liability. So let's have illustration for underfunding. To simplify the example, the only component of the benefit expense is the current service cost of 500,000 pesos. The entity made a contribution of 450,000 pesos to the defined benefit plan for the current year. The journal entry to record the expense and the contribution is, so yung magiging journal entry dito ay para ma-record yung expense and contribution ng entity. Therefore, the journal entry is employee benefit expense 500,000 debit, and meron siyang na-contribute na fair value plan asset. So we have cash amounting to 450,000 credit. Since underfunded siya, ang ating magiging balancing figure ay prepaid or accrued benefit cost amounting to 50,000 credit. Since underfunded nga siya, there is a non-current liability. So saan nakuha si 50,000? To subtract the employee benefit expense of 500,000 to 450,000 contributed cash. So in this case, it should be accrued benefit cost dahil nga mayroon pang dapat bayaran sa entity since 450,000 pa lang ang na-contribute niya. Next illustration naman, overfunding, again, the only component of the benefit expense is the current service cost of 500,000 pesos. The entity made a contribution of 600,000 pesos to the defined benefit plan for the current year. The journal entry to record the expense and the contribution is, since overfunding naman tong illustration na to, still, ang na-expect pa rin dito ay yung expense. So, we debit employee benefit expense of 500,000 pesos. And yung magiging balancing figure natin dito is yung prepaid or accrued benefit cost amounting to 100,000. So, nakuha yung 100,000. So, yung contribution ng entity is 600,000. I-less lang natin do sa benefit expense amounting to 500,000. So, meron kang prepaid or accrued benefit cost of 100,000. Then, we credit cash naman yung contribution ng entity amounting to 600,000. So, since overfunding ngayon, there is a non-current asset and mas malaki yung PBO natin kaysa sa FBPA. Next, prepaid or accrued benefit cost. Observe that the prepaid or accrued benefit cost account is the balancing figure. Since yun nga, di ba sa illustration natin, yung prepaid or accrued benefit cost, siya yung ating balancing figure. If the account has a debit balance, it is classified as non-current asset presented as prepaid benefit cost. So yun, pag yung balancing figure natin ay naging debit or nasa debit siya, it is classified as non-current asset and presented as prepaid benefit cost. Otherwise, pag nasa credit naman siya, credit balance, it is classified as non-current liability presented as accrued benefit cost. Let's have comprehensive illustration. At the beginning of the current year, the memorandum records in relation to a defined benefit plan show the following. Fair value of plan assets, 5 million. Projected benefit obligation, 7 million. So, we subtract 5 million to 7 million. So, the prepaid or accrued benefit cost is 2 million. Means, underfunded siya since mas malaki yung PBO kaysa sa FBPA natin. So, accrued benefit cost siya. During the current year, the following transactions are gathered. Current service cost of 1,200,000, past service cost of 300,000, actual return on plan assets amounting to 800,000, contribution to the plan 1 million, benefits paid 500,000, actuarial loss due to increase in PBO 900,000, discount rate 10%. So, ang computation natin ay nasa next slide. So, ano ba hinahanap natin sa illustration natin? So, yung employee benefit expense na papasok sa entity, yung net remeasurement loss, yung total defined benefit cost, and kung accrued or prepaid benefit cost ba siya during the year. So, we have current service cost, 1,200,000. Add natin yung past service cost, 300,000. Then, add interest expense on PBO, amounting to 700,000. So, saan ako yung 700,000? Discount rate na 10% multiplied by ating PBO na 7 million. Then, less natin yung interest income on FBPA, amounting to 500,000. Yun yung 10% discount rate multiplied by 5 million na FBPA. So, ang ating employee benefit expense ay 1,700,000. Next, actual return on plan assets, 800,000 less interest income on FBPA, yung 500,000. Then, we have remeasurement gain on plan asset na 300,000. less natin ulit yung actuarial loss due to increase in PBO amounting to 900,000. So, ang ating net remeasurement loss ay 600,000. So, employee benefit expense naman amounting to 1,700,000. Yung nakuha natin kanina. Then, add natin yung net remeasurement loss na 600,000. So, ang ating total defined benefit cost ngayon ay 2,300,000 less contribution to the plan na 1 million pesos. So, ang ating accrued benefit cost during the year is 1,300,000 pesos. So, ang ating journal entries transaction ay employee benefit expense 1,700,000 debit, net remeasurement loss of OCI 600,000 debit, cash 1 million credit, prepaid or accrued benefit cost 1,300,000 credit, debt, prepaid or accrued benefit cost in the beginning as of January 1, 2 million, credit adjustment accrued benefit cost during the year 1,300,000. So we have prepaid or accrued benefit cost as of December 31 amounting to 3,300,000. So in reconciliation, we have EBPA as of January 1, 5 million. Add natin yung contribution to the plan, 1 million. Add interest income on FBPA, 500,000. Remeasurement gain on plan assets na 300,000. Then, add natin yun. Then, less natin yung benefit paid na 500,000. So, ang ating FBPA as of December 31 ay 6,300,000. Next, we have another approach, the simple approach. FBPA as of January 1, 5 million, add contribution to the plan of 1 million, then add actual return on plan assets of 800,000. So, nakuha yung 800,000 in sa interest on FBPA amounting 500,000 plus remeasurement gain on plan assets of 300,000. Add up, then less natin yung benefits paid, 500,000. So, you arrive at FBPA as of December 31 na 6,300,000. The actual return on plan assets comprises interest income on FBPA and remeasurement gain or loss on plan assets. Next, PBO as of January 1, 7 million. Add current service cost of 1,200,000. Add past service cost 300,000. And add interest expense on PBO 700,000. Sum up natin, then less natin yung benefits paid of 500,000. Then add actuarial loss due to increase in PBO 900,000. So you will arrive at 9,600,000 PBO as of December 31. And then FBPA as of December 31 na 6,300,000. Ilaless natin sa PBO ng December 31 na 9,600,000 and you will get prepaid or accrued benefit cost of 3,300,000 which is credit. So, ayan no, meron din tayong worksheet approach kung saan makikita nyo na mas detailed siya. Meron siyang general journal and memorandum entry. So, as you can see, sa general journal, nandun yung remeasurement, OCI, benefit expense, tsaka yung cash. Dun sa memorandum entry naman, FBPA and PBO. Mag-start ang worksheet approach from the balances ng January 1 up to the balances of December 31. For the worksheet journal entry naman, to record the current service cost, employee benefit expense, 1,200,000 debit, projected benefit obligation, 1,200,000 credit. To record past service cost, we have employee benefit expense to let 300,000 debit, and we credit projected benefit obligation 300,000. Then, to record the interest expense on PBO, Employee Benefit Expense 700,000 debit, and Projected Benefit Obligation 700,000 credit. So kung mapapansin nyo, kapag expense or cost ang i-record natin ay pare-pareho lang ang ating journal entry kung saan employee benefit expense credit and yung projected benefit obligation naman ay nag-a-arrive sa credit. Next, to record the interest income on FBPA naman, we have fair value of plan assets of 500,000 debit and we credit employee benefit expense 500,000 credit yun. Pag interest income kasi, inaalis or tinatanggal sa expense yung ating interest income. Next, to record contribution to the plan fair value of plan assets, 1 million debit, cash, 1 million credit. So, syempre, once na mag-contribute tayo to the plan, mababawasan yung cash natin and madadagdagan naman yung fund. To record benefits paid, we have projected benefit obligation, debit, and we credit fair value of plan assets 500,000. So, pag benefits paid naman ay nag-i-impact to sa FBPA and PBO. Next, journal entry to record actuarial loss on PBO. Remeasurement loss OCI 900,000 debit, projected benefit obligation 900,000 credit. Ito ay nagkaroon ng loss sa OCI and dinecrease naman sa PBO. To record remeasurement gain on plan assets, we debit fair value of plan assets 300,000 and credit remeasurement gain OCI 300,000. Nagkaroon naman ng increase ating FBPA dito. So next, we have settlement plan. A settlement is a transaction that eliminates all further legal or constructive obligation for part or all of the benefits provided under a defined benefit plan. So una, kaya nga siya settlement ay dahil meron tayong tatanggalin dito or aalisin na obligations not the existing but rather the further. So ang binabanggit dito ay yung mga obligations sa plan assets na kailangan talagang isettle, ano? Ito yung obligation na further legal or constructive. Legal na obligation once na ikaw ay na-require ng batas na magbigay and constructive naman ay yung hindi ka ni-require but ikaw ay obligado pa rin na magbigay. For example, a one-off transfer of significant employer contributions under to plan to an insurance entity through the purchase of an insurance policy is a settlement. So, sa settlement kasi ay itatransfer mo yung contribution plans under an insurance entity. Entities may settle their post-employment benefit plan by purchasing annuity contracts from insurance entities for less than the amount in the retirement fund. A lump sum payment to plan participants in exchange for their rights to receive specified post-employment benefits is also a settlement. However, PAS 19 clarified that lump sum to plan participant made under the terms of the existing defined benefit is not a settlement. Hindi, di ba nga, hindi yung existing defined benefit yung ating isa-settle, kundi yung further obligations. This is referred to as routine settlement and considered an actuarial assumption that should be included in the measurement of the defined benefit obligation. The most obvious example of a routine settlement is the option to take a lump sum payment instead of annuity for a periodic payment. Gain or loss on settlement. PAS 19, paragraph 110, provides that an entity shall recognize gain or loss on the settlement of a defined benefit plan when the settlement occurs. The gain or loss on settlement is the difference between the settlement price or settlement payment and the present value of the defined benefit obligation on the date of settlement. Gain or loss on settlement. First, ito yung bahagi or parte ng service cost. So, ang sabi dito, it is the difference. So, pag na-minusin natin ang settlement payment at ang present value of the defined benefit obligation. So, kapag yung dalawa ay pinagkumpara mo, nandun yung gain or loss. The settlement price or settlement payment includes any plan asset transferred and any payments made directly by the entity in connection with the settlement. So, the settlement payment naman, ito yung any plan assets transferred o yung mga nabigay mo na, tsaka ito rin yung any payment made directly by the entity. Again, when you try to compare, there will be a gain or loss. Any gain or loss on settlement is fully recognized and included in service costs in the computation of employee benefit expense. Let's have illustration here. At the beginning of the current year, the memorandum records of a defined benefit plan show the following. Fair value of plan assets 4 million, projected benefit obligation 5,500,000, and prepaid or accrued benefit cost ay 1,500,000. So, underfunded siya since mas maliit yung FBPA natin sa PBO. During the current year, the following transactions are gathered. Current service cost 800,000, actual return on plan assets 300,000, contribution to the plan 600,000, settlement price of defined benefit obligation 450,000, present value of defined benefit obligation settled 500,000, and discount rate of 5%. So, proceed tayo sa next slide para sa ating computation. So, sa ating computation here, present value of defined benefit obligation settled 500,000, settlement payment before normal retirement date 450,000. So mag-a-arrive siya sa settlement gain 50,000. Kasi nga, di ba, pag kumuha tayo ng gain or loss on settlement, ito yung difference between present value of defined benefit obligation settled and settled payment. Current service cost 800,000, settlement gain na 50,000. So, ilalas natin yon. Interest expense on PBO 275,000. So, nakuha yun sa discount rate na 5% multiplied by ating PBO na 5,500,000. Interest income on FBPA 200,000. Yun ay 5% ng discount rate multiply sa ating FBPA per million. So, ang ating employee benefit expense ay 825,000. Actual return on plan assets 300,000 less interest income on FBPA 200,000. So, the measurement gain on plan assets natin ay 100,000. Employee benefit expense 825,000 less the measurement gain o CI 100,000. So, ating defined benefit cost ngayon ay 725,000. Then, less natin yung contribution to the plan na 600,000. So, you will arrive at accrued benefit cost during the year na 125,000. So, for our journal entry, employee benefit expense 825,000 debit, the measurement gain o CI 100,000 credit, then cash 600,000 credit, prepaid or accrued benefit cost 125,000 credit. Prepaid or accrued benefit cost January 1, 1,500,000 credit adjustment accrued benefit cost during the year na 125,000. So, you will arrive at prepaid or accrued benefit cost as of December 31, 1,625,000. In reconciliation, FBPA January 1 per million, contribution to the plan 600,000. Settlement payment of defined benefit obligation of 450,000. Naka-credit yun. So, ilalas natin. Interest income on FBPA 200,000. Then, Add remeasurement gain on planned assets 100,000. So, ang ating FBPA as of December 31 ay 4,450,000. Next, another approach, FBPA as of January 1, 4 million. Contribution to the plan, 600,000. Settlement payment of defined benefit obligation, 450,000. Actual return on planned assets, 300,000. So, ating FBPA as of December 31 ay 4,450,000. Interest income on FBPA, 200,000. Add natin yung remeasurement gain on planned assets, 100,000. So, actual return on planned assets ay 300,000. Then, PBO as of January 1, 5,500,000. Current service cost na 800,000, interest expense on PBO 225,000, less present value of defined benefit obligation settled 500,000. So ang ating PBO as of December 31 ay 6,075,000. So FBPA as of December 31 na 4,450,000 less PBO as of December 31 na 6,075,000. So, ang ating prepaid or accrued benefit cost ay 1,625,000, which is credit. Thank you. Please proceed to the next part. Again, this is Elizah P. Alejandre, your CPA in transit.
Hi, this is Rhiane Dei A. Belostrino, your CPA in transit, and here's the continuation of Chapter 18, Defined Benefit Plan. So, FBPA more than PBO. So, ang sinasabi lang dito, if the fair value of plan asset exceeds the benefit obligation, the difference is known as the surplus. Surplus yung kasobrahan ng asset dun sa benefit obligation. Again, magkakaroon lang ng surplus pag mas mataas yung plan asset kaysa sa benefit obligation. Sa illustration natin, kita natin na mas mataas yung plan asset. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng surplus na 1 million. However daw, this surplus cannot exceed the asset ceiling. Asset ceiling siya yung maximum na amount. It is the present value in a form of refunds or reduction in future contribution to the plan. Ito yung pwede mong maging refund dun sa excess na kinontribute mo or maging kabawasan sa future contribution natin. Punta tayo sa illustration para mas maintindihan natin. Dito, ang asset ceiling natin is 1,200,000. Doon sa taas na illustration, ang surplus natin is 1 million. So, hindi niya na-reach yung asset ceiling na 1,200,000. So, okay yun, marirefund natin lahat. What if naman, tingnan natin yung illustration sa baba. Paano pag ang surplus mo is 3 million na, ay ang asset ceiling is only 1,200,000. Based on the definition, ang marirefund lang natin is out of 3 million, 1,200,000 lang. Kasi nga siya na yung pinaka-maximum na amount. Yung asset ceiling na yung pinaka-maximum na amount. Yung difference ng surplus at asset ceiling, which is yung 1,800,000, maaring di mo na makuha. So dito, pinapakita lang na yung difference ng surplus at asset ceiling ay tinatawag na effect of asset ceiling. Let's now move on to remeasurement and the effect of the asset ceiling. Ang remeasurement ay may dalawang klase. It can be remeasurement loss or remeasurement gain. Lahat ng presentation of the effect of asset ceiling is part of OCI. Lahat ng remeasurement kasi may kasunod na panahon or year. We have to compare the before and after. Tingin tayo sa illustration. Let's say sa kasunod na year, ang PBO natin is 9 million and ang kinontribute natin is 15 million. So therefore, magkakaroon ng difference na 6 million. And let's say ang asset ceiling ay naging 2 million. So surplus minus asset ceiling equals 4 million. So ito na yung effect of asset ceiling natin. Ang sabi dito, remeasurement loss is increase in the effect of asset ceiling. So in our example, kung ang dating effect of asset ceiling is 1,800,000, then sa kasunod na year, naging 4 million, that is remeasurement loss. Kasi instead na mas mababa yung pwedeng hindi mo makuha, mas lumaki. That's why it's a loss. Remeasurement gain naman kung sakaling there's a decrease. From our example, from 1,800,000 na asset ceiling naging 800,000 na lang sa kasunod na panahon, that's a remeasurement gain kasi mas mababa yung hindi mo makuha. Tingnan ulit natin yung comprehensive illustration. 4,500,000 ang kanyang plan asset. 4,000,000 naman ang kanyang expected na utang. So may sobra sa kanyang fund na 500,000. If the asset ceiling is determined at only 300,000 only, so sumobra. And magkakaroon tayo ng effect of asset ceiling na 200,000. Let's now see kung anong mangyayari sa ating asset ceiling considering na these are the data, yung nasa right side. So, meron tayong current service cost, actual return on plan asset, contribution to the plan, benefits paid, actuarial gain due to decrease in PBO, asset ceiling on December 31, and discount rate. So, ang beginning na asset ceiling natin is 300,000 and at the end of the year, ang asset ceiling natin is 800,000. So, now, magko-compute tayo. So, ang beginning na FVPA natin is 4,500,000. Ang beginning PBO natin is 4 million. Then, meron tayong current service cost na 900,000. Sabi natin, idadagdag natin yon sa PBO as utang. Then, we have actual return on plan asset. Pumapasok sa FVPA. So, ang amount is 1 million. Next, pag nag-contribution to the plan, dadagdag siya sa FVPA, so add ng 700,000. Benefits paid naman of 200,000 is a reduction in FVPA and also sa PBO. Kaya napansin natin sa illustration na parehas may deduction na 200,000 sa FVPA at saka sa PBO. Next, actuarial gain due to decrease in PBO, 300,000. Ibabawas natin siya sa PBO. So now, mako-compute na natin na yung FBPA is 6 million. That is beginning plus contribution to the plan plus actual return less benefits paid. Sa PBO naman, beginning plus current service cost plus interest expense na 400,000. Take note, kailangan natin dito mag-compute. Dito, beginning multiply by discount rate na 10%, so that's 400,000. So, ang total PBO natin is 4,800,000. Ngayon, kukumputin natin magkano yung prepaid accrued benefit cost or yung surplus. Kita natin mas malaki yung FVPA natin kesa dun sa PBO. So, nagkaroon tayo ng surplus na 1,200,000. Ang sabi sa data, ang asset ceiling ay 800,000. So, nag-exceed. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng asset ceiling. So, we have 400,000 effect of asset ceiling. So, di ba ang sabi natin, ang ating net service cost ang pumapasok dyan ay current service cost. So, 900,000. So, interest from PBO natin is 400,000. Yung kinompute natin kanina na i-multiply sa 10% discount rate. Interest income from FBPA, na-compute din natin to kanina na 450,000. Ito napapasok yung interest from asset ceiling. So, ngayon, titingnan mo yung change in the effect of asset ceiling. So, from 200,000 na asset ceiling, naging 400,000. So, merong 200,000 na interest from asset ceiling. So, that's 200,000 times discount rate of 10%, and that's 20,000. So, ang total na employee benefit expense natin is 870,000. Then, punta tayo sa remeasurement. So, ang remeasurement natin sa FVPA, yung ating 550,000. And sa PBO, meron tayong actuarial gain na 300,000. And doon napapasok yung remeasurement loss on asset ceiling, which is yung 180,000. Coming from 200,000 beginning minus interest from asset ceiling of 20,000. So we have 180,000 remeasurement loss on asset ceiling. To compute remeasurement loss, kailangan natin ng beginning, which is sa data kanina, 200,000 minus interest income of 20,000 which is coming from change in the effect of asset ceiling of 200,000. So, ang total defined benefit cost natin is 200,000. Pag-minusin lang natin yung employee benefit expense at net measuring gain OCI. Para sa mas madaling computation, ang gagawin, tingnan mo lang yung total ng PBO at FBPA kanina. Pag-minusin mo lang yan and ang total nun ay defined benefit cost na 200,000. Transitional provision. Revised Clause 19, paragraph 170 provides that an entity shall apply this standard retrospectively. This means any transitional effect of the application of amendment under the standard shall be accounted for as adjustment of the beginning balance of retained earnings. Pag nagkaroon daw ng changes, ang i-adjust ay beginning balance ng retained earnings. However, an entity need not adjust the carrying amount of asset for changes in employee benefit costs that were included in the initial carrying amount of the asset. In other words, assets such as inventory and property, plant, and equipment that include employee benefit costs in their carrying amount do not have to be restated. So, eto yung example natin. Nagbigay siya dito ng unamortized past service cost and unrecognized actuarial loss. So, on January 1, the entity applied. Gagamitin niya na yung revised past 19. Effective on January 1, ang mangyayari dito is fully i-recognize na natin sa profit or loss yung employee benefit expense and all actuarial gains and losses during the year are fully recognized in other comprehensive income. The question is the treatment of the unamortized past service cost. Ano daw gagawin sa unamortized past service cost of 400,000 and yung 500,000 na unrecognized actuarial loss? Under the transitional provision of revised past 19, the unamortized past service cost and the unrecognized actuarial loss shall be eliminated and i-adjust sa retained earnings. So sabi natin yung lahat ng past service cost ay sa profit and loss, then all actuarial sa OCI. Pero yung unamortized and unrecognized ay adjustment siya sa retained earnings kapag may transitional provision. And that would be all. Again, I'm Rhiane Dei A, your CPA in transit.